it's going to sound so silly me saying this, but from the off, but I'm going to say this. A paedophile is a paedophile. Okay, from the way I see it, it doesn't really matter to me about ethnicity or colour of skin. A paedophile is a paedophile, and most British Muslims, certainly from my experience, don't have a clue that any of this has happened or has been going on. So they are as bemused as you were just now as you posed the question. The reality is, look, there has been in the grooming gangs. There has clearly been a demographic which we can't deny, and we shouldn't deny that, by the way. So it has been largely British Pakistani males who have conducted this. I know Sajid Javid, I call him Saj. When he was Home Secretary, he called it out quite rightly because we can't shy away from that. This has clearly happened, and more stories are coming out, and fundamentally. From my point of view, what's happened here is that these heinous men have taken advantage of some of the most vulnerable girls. I actually think there's a broader piece here, which is that there is clearly they took advantage of lots of white working class girls or vulnerable girls who are white, but I actually think there's probably huge amounts of British Muslim girls who've been taken advantage of because paedophiles are paedophiles, right? They don't discriminate like that, and I suspect what we will find out is that there are plenty of British Muslim girls who haven't come forward, perhaps because they're worried about the impact in communities, or they're embarrassed, etc. They haven't had the same avenues of talking, and that's why I think we need a national inquiry. I think we need one.
And you've called for a national inquiry.
I've called for one. I've called for one twice from the dispatch box. I was covering equalities, and the first one was to Jess Phillips. I found her response incredibly patronising.
Yeah.
It's called it for a second time in the national inquiry after the Louise Casey review. So Labour had to do an about turn, and it was Seema Malhotra at the time. And my worry was this was all going to get brushed under the carpet, which I think is basically, I feel like they're weak on this.